y'all feel like y'all are better than us. Y'all feel like y'all are smarter than us. And I think y'all be calling us akatas. Y'all, baby, I didn't even know that this shit is like this. I did not. I did not. Baby, when I say this, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Stop bringing y'all mother asses over here trying to be a part of our culture and get the benefits of the people that come here, and then don't really like the people. Like, a lot of y'all are like that. A lot of y'all really will blend in because y'all are black, and then will turn around and try to feel as though your country or continent is above the one that you're currently living in. And I just have to say, there is nothing wrong with having pride about your hometown and where you come from. But baby, if you're going to come to somebody else's land feeling like you entitled to everything they get, and then try to turn around and feel like you better than them, baby, you need to go back to where you came from. Because a lot of Africans don't realize that you wouldn't be in America if you could get the same benefits in Africa.
Move out. We are taking over. Go cry to master. Black Americans, I want y'all to understand why delineation is the best thing ever that we are doing. They can't get nothing popping in America without tethering on to us. They just can't. They can't do it. I'm sorry, they just can't do it. It's a reason why things are happening to them. It's a reason why, if y'all ever watch these deportation videos where Africans got to go back to their homeland, oh, they boo-hooing crying. They boo-hooing and crying. They do not want to go back. Don't let these people trick you into thinking like, hey, we Pan-Africanism. I'm going to get to that too. But hey, y'all should go back to Africa. It's beautiful out here. Da-da-da-da. We got culture and blah, 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 and all that. Why they not going back? They want to replace us here in America. They want to down-talk America, but uplift Africa. But if you really think about it, ain't nothing popping in Africa. Y'all seen videos of black Americans going out there trying to help. They getting unalived out there. They getting their land took out there. It ain't nothing positive to go out there. I've been there before. You land in Lagos in Nigeria or whatever. As soon as you get out there, it's a shakedown. It's a shakedown. You can't even just walk through the airport without 50 people begging you for money, begging you to pay this, pay that. You got even officers out there trying to scam you out of money. Why would you want to go there? How can we work with scammers like that? Huh? Why we want to work with people like this right here? Huh? I've been saying this since I've been on this app about these people. Not all my African brothers are like this and sisters are like this. But we got these over here that's like this, over here right now. And they just wait, they just want us to leave, but they would never leave. They would never leave. And we ain't going nowhere. We don't flee. We never fled. My great-grandparents never said, America getting so bad, Jim Crow, oh my God, slavery, oh my God, we getting hung from trees. I think we should run to Africa. My great-grandparents never say we're going to stay here and fight for what's ours. We don't blame the government for everything. We know what the government do. We're going to fight back against the government. We don't blame the leaders. We change the leaders. If the leaders ain't doing nothing, we're going to change them again. We ain't like these people, bro. They ain't got our spirit, man. They ain't got our spirit.
Okay, brothers and sisters, this was a little bit difficult video for me to watch. But again, I like the video because it gives the reality. Why am I saying it was difficult for me to watch? It was difficult for me because it involved two people that I love. Look, I like my African brothers. I like my Black American brothers. I roll with all of them. I have Black American friends. I have African friends, right? I'm an African, to be specific and to set things clear. There are a couple of concerns that Black Americans are sharing. And honestly, this is their experience and this is how they feel. And I can't deny that. Because part of finding a solution to a problem is speak out and talk about the things that you feel that are really, really important. Black Americans are coming out and saying that they are delineating. That's so much good because it will help them protect their culture. It will help them from people that take advantage of them. Majority of Black Americans have been complaining about Africans and a couple of things that they do. Remember, they once said, all skin folks ain't kin folks. Hold on. I'm going to say something. there could be a lot of misunderstandings that are happening between Black Americans and Africans. I'm not saying Africans are bad people. Neither am I not saying Africans, all of them are good, because we've had experiences of Black Americans trying to share how they feel. In as much as we are always trying to foster unity between Black Americans and Africans, I think that there are a couple of discussions that we need to have, and we need to come to a one ground of understanding. I will not sit on the fence, and I'll call out both groups for a mistake that they have done. So, brothers and sisters, Black Americans are trying to share how they are delineating from Africans and the concept of calling Africans like blackness, like together. I totally understand, right? I totally understand, because if this makes them to be disadvantaged at a given point, that makes sense, right? There are a couple of things that we need to address, and really, really important, we need to address them, right? Because this is a long due topic that needs to be talked about, that needs to be addressed, and it is so much important for us to talk about it. I still foster for Black unity. I'm a person that still foster because I believe that in this Black unity, not only Africans is going to be benefiting from this, but Black Americans will also benefit from this project. These are all my brothers and sisters, Africans, African Americans, man. I roll with all of them, right? So I want to show this video, and then I'll be back, and then I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this, because we need to find a balance between the two, right? So let's get into it.
Delineation is simply us being clear about who we are, what our lineage is, and what struggles and victories belong specifically to this bloodline. It's not about hate, it's not about division, it's about clarity. And clarity protects us. Because when we don't delineate, a few things happen. Other groups start taking credit for our fight. They start talking about how they built movements that our ancestors died for. Also, people rewrite our story while we are still living in it. They flatten all blackness to one category, and then they erase the specifics about what we went through here. Resources meant for us get diluted. Policies, scholarships, even business grants get redirected to anyone who can check black on a form. Our culture gets copied and exported, but never protected. People pick up our aesthetics and commodify it. We get gaslit about our own experience. Folks come into our spaces telling us how we should feel and who we are from their perspective. But delineation stops all of that. It says, this is our lineage, this is our culture, this is our history. And the crazy thing is, everybody else already delineates. They don't mix themselves up. We're the only ones being told to be vague. But vague harms us. Blurry harms us. Flattening harms us. So it's really not about exclusion. It's about protection. It's about accuracy. It's about ensuring that generations to come will inherit clarity, not confusion. Because if we don't define ourselves, someone else will. And they will always define us in a way that benefits them. So delineation is not optional anymore. It's necessary, it's healthy, and it's the way forward.
Like, just because we live in a different country doesn't make us any different than y'all. I mean, sure, our culture is different, but genetically, we're literally the same. And you want to know what's crazy? African people copy American culture, and Black people want more of their culture. Like, really? We're literally going in separate directions, and that's what's dividing us. This stupid ignorance on both sides needs to stop. Like, it's honestly so dumb. I can't even believe I'm ranting about it on TikTok right now. Just love everyone. Understand both sides. It's that easy. And honestly, this is something I can rant about all day.
Many Black Americans, often using terms like FBA or Black American, are saying, we are not immigrants. We are a distinct ethnic group formed here. That's why a new question keeps coming up online. Where are your people from? That question isn't about appearance, it's about lineage. When someone who looks Black speaks against reparations, prioritizes immigration over Black American policy, or avoids addressing historical harm, people ask it to understand who they're actually representing. Public figures like mayors, senators, and Black organizational leaders are being scrutinized not for race, but for alignment. If your politics consistently benefit everyone except Black Americans, people want to know why. This movement isn't anti-African or anti-Caribbean. It's about self-advocacy. Black Americans are saying, before we fight for everybody, we need clarity on who's fighting for us. As immigration, ICE, reparations, and coalition politics collide, Black delineation is forcing an uncomfortable but necessary question. Can a group survive without clearly defining itself? You don't have to agree with with the movement, but ignoring it won't make it disappear. Identity, lineage, and political loyalty are being renegotiated in real time.
Go back to where? Huh? You mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? Do you mean to Africa? We are not Africans no more. We are not Africans no more.
Where you said that you talk about native blacks. And so that clearly sounds as if you are delineating native blacks versus someone that comes here from Bermuda or Jamaica or wherever they may they may come from that is black.
That's right.
The purpose of that is what? Because you on the surface it would be like, hey, everybody here that's black gets treated a certain way. Why are you making that delineation?
That is an excellent point. You know why? Because you see, those people coming in from Jamaica or coming in from Africa, they have not been treated like black folk in this country. That's the first thing. And secondly, historically, they haven't had those historical experiences. They come in here voluntarily. When they come in here, they bring some cultural aspects from Africa. They can go back anytime they want. But the black people in this country have been exceptional people. Nobody's been mistreated, maltreated like them. The black folk are exceptional. They're the only people that came here forcefully, one. Two, they're the only people that denied their humanity. Three, they were the only people denied a right to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Four, they were the only people denied the right to participate in government. Five, they were the only people denied the right to vote. Six, they were the only people denied the right to have an education. Seven, they were the only people denied the right to have a business. Eight, they were the only people that participated in every war that this country has had since its founding, but whose mother country has never been against this country. All those immigrants come from countries where they fought America, and they came in. And there's seven, that they are the oldest and most patriotic people in the country. Not the Confederates in the South. They're not the most patriotic people waving the Confederate flag. The most patriotic people in this country are black people, native blacks, because you see 99% of all those blacks have been direct descendants of slaves. They've been here before 99% of all the other people ever arrived in this country. They are special people. And because they are special people, they need to be recognized, appreciated, and reparated for what they've done in this country and building this country. They're the ones that built the bridges, the roads, cut the timber, the trees, that cleared the land, raised the tobacco, cotton, indigo. They're the people that fought to raise in every war to protect this country. The people coming from Africa or coming from Jamaica didn't. They came here voluntarily. And the most important point on this is if you lump them with black folk, then you give the dominant white society a justification to say we don't owe black folk anything. Mm-hmm. Because you see, the blackness black people's blackness is more than just color. It is their heritage, it's their history, it's their code of conduct, and more importantly, it is their badge of honor, and it symbolizes the indebtedness that this country has to them. This country does not have an indebtedness to people coming from Africa. Mm-hmm. They only have an indebtedness to people coming in from the Bahamas. Mm-hmm. If you lump black folk in there, you deprive black folk of the benefit, the debt that's owed them. Don't do that.
I found that we have a ton of melanated immigrants and also our own Pan-Africanists that are attempting to hijack that conversation and demonize us in our desire to delineate. They are saying things like delineation is divisive, Black Americans are xenophobic, Black Americans are anti-African, Black Americans hate ourselves, and Black Americans are seeking validation from white people. All of these are baseless accusations that they obviously can't prove, but it's also a form of narcissistic abuse and narcissistic projection, which I do intend to speak on in a later video. Black Americans have found that in order for us to address disparities that exist under the pseudoscientific race construct, we must delineate. Right now, we are being erroneously identified as a homogenous group with melanated immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, and it has made it impossible for us to gauge how we are doing as an ethnic group. That is the spirit and intention behind delineation. Anything else is a lie in order to control us and a narrative. Thank you.
Black American delineation has nothing to do with anti-African, anti-Caribbean, or anti-other Black nations. It's about preserving culture, preserving inheritance, setting aside a particular group so that they are not forgotten. They don't want their ancestors, the sacrifice of their ancestors. They don't want the sacrifice of their people to be forgotten. You say that they don't have culture. You say that they don't have identity. And when they decide to set themselves apart, you say that they shouldn't. And no other culture
No other culture is expected to absorb everybody else except Black Americans. You don't go to Jamaica and say, you got to accept us as Jamaican. You don't go to Haiti and say, you got to accept us as Haitian. Everybody else can have their identity, but when it comes to Black Americans wanting to set themselves apart, you say, oh no, you guys you're xenophobic, you're Zionists. No, stop gaslighting them. Are there some extremists? Yes. But that doesn't represent the whole group. It's important that this group is set aside because they do have an inheritance. They have a special tie to this land and a special history to this land, and they deserve that observation.
Delineation is only a problem when we do it. It's only problematic. It's only threatening. It's only xenophobic when we do it. I noticed that. I'm sure y'all noticed it too. Because how can you be offended or taken aback by delineation of Black America when we was never together with nobody in the first place?
Africa are you from?
I'm from America. That's what we're saying. Just like a Jamaican, just like a no, hold on. Just like somebody from Jamaica, they're not going to say what country in Africa they're from. Somebody in Haiti is not going to say what country from. They're going to say they're Haitian
because they were closer from what is it called, the triangular slave
but
trade.
Then when you ask them that question, they're not going to have a definitive answer.
That's because they're already in their own community of Caribbeans, the Haitians, Jamaica. They're all like in one bowl.
But Black Americans are in their own bowl.
Look, that video is ridiculous. That woman is ignorant. Asking Black Americans where they're from and then not accepting our answer that we are from America because our ancestors have been in America for the past 400 to 500 years. Our ancestor has fought in every war in this country. Our ancestors' blood, sweat, tears are in this soil. Our ancestors are buried in this soil. Our ancestor made it right or okay for your people to come over here and benefit here. Instead of trying to disrespect us, in that interview, she went on to continue to be disrespecting and spew some of the same ignorance that a lot of Black immigrants do. When they should be thanking us that they're able to flee from their countries instead of fighting in their countries, building up their countries, getting what they deserve in their countries. They flee from their countries, come to here where we fought and we made it okay for you guys to benefit here. Instead of thanking us for that, applauding us for what we've done and that allowed you to come here and benefit, instead of thanking us, you continue to disrespect us. And then he asked her, why don't you ask Jamaicans, Haitians that? She said because they have their own bowl in the Caribbean, talking about their culture. Like Black Americans don't have our own culture here. Black Americans have a multiplicity of cultures in America. American culture is Black culture. We have our own food, the way we talk, the way we dress. The only reason you are able to come to America and live here and benefit is because of what we've done. So just like Haitians and Jamaicans, you don't ask them where they're from in Africa because you accept that they're from Haiti and Jamaica and they have their countries. Learn to understand that we are from America. We have our own bowl, our own culture in America for the past 400, 500 years. Stop being ignorant. At this point, you guys are being willfully ignorant because all the anti-Black American things you have in your heart. It's ridiculous. And for one, I'm sick of it. That's why I'm not for the whole all Black people come together. No, because until y'all learn to respect us, we have to gatekeep. Because Black people are the ones that was, we're all Black people, let's come together, let's stand. We the ones that was fighting for y'all to be able to come over here. We the ones that was fighting for them bills that got passed that allowed immigrants to come over here. Us. America accept y'all because of what we done. Now it's time to stop. Now it's time to put black Americans first and stop worrying about all these other immigrants, because they come over here and continue to disrespect us. They come over here and don't respect our culture. They come over here and don't respect our history. She didn't even know what the transatlantic slave trade was, or triangular slave trade. She didn't even know what it was. Don't know how to pronounce it because they don't care about our history. They're not us. We're not the same people. And for the record, my ancestors can trace back. I can trace my ancestors back about 14, 15 generations in America longer than you can in Africa. For the record, if you want to go who can trace who, generation for generation. Black Americans, we have to start gatekeeping. We have to start standing by ourselves, for ourselves.
They are Caribbean.
No. What is it? Okay. People that come from Jamaica, what do you call them?
I low-key don't even know.
What do you mean you don't know? What do you call someone that comes from Jamaica? What is their ethnicity?
They're Jamaican.
Why don't you call them African Jamaicans?
Because they're not African. They're not from Africa.
Jamaicans, okay. So when did Jamaicans get to Jamaica and when did Black Americans get to America?
Jamaicans, oh my gosh, here you go again.
We're starting to think a little bit now, aren't we? When did Jamaicans get to Jamaica? Answer the question.
They were just there, I guess.
No,
I don't know. Are they from Africa?
What?
I don't know.
You don't know,
oh my God.
you don't know where the majority of the people from the transatlantic slave went to? Do you know?
No.
They went to the Caribbean and they went to Brazil, South America. And the small percentage of the people that came from the transatlantic slave trade that came to America got to America at the same time that Jamaicans that came from Africa got to Jamaica. So they just stop, hold on. I want you to, let's I'm having a teacher moment. How are Jamaicans just Jamaican and they're not from Africa, but melanated people from America are African American and they're from Africa, but both of those people got to this side of the world at the same exact time. How are they Jamaican and we're African American? Explain that.
Because we're in America, so.
But they're in Jamaica. What continent is Jamaica in?
It's in. I don't know.
You don't know what? It's in North America, sweetheart.
Okay.
So then the thing that you would say, if we're African Americans, then Jamaicans are African Jamaicans, right?
I mean.
What do you mean? I mean, if both of our people got to this side of the world at the same exact time, how are we African Americans and not just Americans? And how are they Jamaicans and not African Americans? Where does what are you like? Where's the confusion?
I don't know. I guess because like.
Because what?
I mean, that's a good question. Honestly, I don't really know.
That's the problem because a lot of people are uneducated. Most of the do you know
black?
Huh?
So you consider yourself as a black person?
I'm a black American. Do you know the people that were classified on paper as black?
Yes, but
who are they?
But you're African though, because your ancestors are from Africa.
What ancestors do people that come from Brazil? Where do their ancestors come from?
I'm going to say Africa.
People that come from Japan, where do their ancestors come from?
I'm going to say Mongols.
No, they come from Africa because all life and people came from Africa, correct?
Yeah.
So by that logic, everybody's an African, correct?
Right.
So would you consider Jamaicans black? Or no, I'm sorry, would you consider Japanese people black?
Oh, no.
Why not if they all came from Africa? Like the logic that you just gave me.
Because they got mixed in with other things.
Just like we did. We got mixed in with Native Americans and we got mixed in with the portion of the population that came from Africa. So we got mixed in with Native Americans just like they got mixed in with other people as well. So by that logic, if you just use the logic with me, you just said you're black if you come from Africa. So if all life came from Africa, Asians, Indians, people from Australia, even Europeans, if all life that came to existence started in Africa, by that logic, all people are black, correct?
Right.
So then your logic isn't making any sense then.
I guess not.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you're doing great from wherever you're watching me from. Now, to go just right on this topic is really, really complex topic, but of course, we need to find a balance between the two. Black Americans, my brothers and sisters in the United States, I call them my brothers and sisters in the United States for a reason. Now, they say Africans are tethering, like Sometimes we are called Tethers. And I think this is not a word that I'm hearing for the first time. Like, I've also been called a Tether for the longest time. You see, becoming a creator in this space, sometimes it's so much difficult, right? Because you might be sharing a thought, but again, somebody interprets it in a different way. And so I've ever once called a Tether. So Africans are being called Tethers. But I get it, because Africans cosplay, the cosplaying of some of Africans. I'm not going to say like all Africans are doing this, but some of Africans who are going in the United States, they are cosplaying Black Americans, right? So when they go there, because people don't even realize that even for them to get into the United States, it really required Black Americans to fight for the civil rights movement so that they can be in that place. So many times I've heard stories of some Africans who go to the United States. They seek help from Black Americans because at least that is a group of person that they can resonate with. I mean, let's just be real with this, right? It is easier for them to resonate with Black American as compared to any other group, because in the United States, everything is being determined by color. Because when I walk around, I don't know if you're a Black American or if you're an African, the first thing that I'll realize, I'll see and I'll say, that was a Black person, right? That was a Black person. And so this has really helped Africans to get help from Black Americans. I won't deny that, right? I'm going to be going to the point of where, because I'm addressing the complaints of Black Americans. And as a person who have tried to understood both of the parties, I don't want to belong to any party, and I'm not sitting on the fence. I'll call out each and every group. So let's talk about it. This is it. You see, when Black Americans or Africans come to Africa, I understand people have their own expectations of what they perceive Africa to be. But honestly, Africa is not easy. But I'm not saying that every time I talk about Africa, it's not easy. I'm not saying that Africa is impossible. Look, I'm talking about, I've seen Black Americans who have come to the United States and are really, really making a lot of money inside Africa because they tried and looked what they can do and what is missing in Africa. And that's what they're providing in Africa. And that's what's making them rich, right? So I've seen a lot of Black Americans become so much successful. I'm going to talk about my country, Kenya, where I come from, right? I'm not talking about Zambia. I'm not talking about Senegal. I'm not talking about Ghana. I'm not talking about Tanzania. I'm talking about my country, Kenya, right? Because I know, and I've interacted with Black Americans firsthand, and I've talked to them. The only thing is that I don't do like I don't record my conversations with Black Americans, but trust me, sometimes we have intimate talks with them, right? With how they came to Africa, with how the challenges that they are facing, we have all addressed this thing and they have talked to me because majority of them probably have seen me on TV or on YouTube, and when they come to Africa, we connect with them. Like somebody's telling me, yo, what's up? I'm in Nairobi. Are you free? Maybe on Saturday we can hang out or something, right? So I get a chance to talk to Black Americans. And those who have stayed in Kenya or in Africa generally for a long time, you are going to realize that they have achieved some things. But this is what the catch is. This doesn't apply to all Black Americans. And it exemptionally agreed because some Black Americans have faced enormous problems in Africa. First, scams. And this has been addressed, right? Black Americans have been scammed. And trust me, at some point, you'll be scammed. But I'm not trying to cherish the scams that Black people have gone through. No. I'm talking about these as something. Like I could be scammed in my own country. Like it happens, you could be scammed. But the problem is we have people who are opportunists. We have people that will take advantage of you. So these people, when they understand the vulnerability that you don't know a place, you don't understand Swahili, definitely they're going to scam you. This is something which happens. And I'm not glorifying scamming. It is a bad thing. I mean, I won't want a black American to be scammed when they get to my country. Feel me? So it becomes so much difficult to unravel the differences. So when a black American leave the Africa, for example, Kenya, when they go out there, they're going to share their experience. Undeniably, that's their experience, right? And everyone has a right to share their experience. So the few negative experiences that get out there get so much amplified by the mainstream media because this is what they need. This is the perception that they need to share, right? So please, 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 we need to find a balance between understanding that we can succumb challenges when we get to Africa. Even the most successful black Americans in the black Americans in the US, they'll tell you that they ever gotten scammed in the US. Same way, even successful black Americans in Kenya or in Africa today, they're going to tell you that they were at some point scammed. So this is something which happened, but trust me, this is a disclaimer. I'm not trying to say, or I'm not trying to glorify scams. The unaliving of black Americans in Africa. I'll purposefully say this. This doesn't apply to any African country, but it is a bad thing. It is really, really a bad thing that as a continental African, I condemn that a black American who is trying to find their roots, who is trying to come and at least support the locals in Africa, come up with business ideas, a way of developing Africa, they go and succumb to this problem. So when this happens, it is something that we don't celebrate. It is something that I honestly condemn. It is something that I don't support at all. Whether it was a white person, whether it was a black American who was coming to Africa and getting unalived in this place, I don't support. Life should be sacred. And it pains me so much because this comes from some Africans who decided to be greedy, who decided that they want to have it all. I don't support this. And this is something that should be addressed. Black American safety in Africa should be prioritized. I've never seen a black American come to Africa with bad intention. They have all come to first explore African culture, right? Explore what African can offer. But it becomes so much sad when they are met with difficulties, when they are met with challenges. There's a video that gone viral some times back. All these issues that were happening in Gambia. Black American, especially Black American women being alive. Because we noticed that there is a pattern. Majority of these Black Americans that were being alive were Black American women. And so we tried to look into this aspect. And as a person who was so much interested in this topic, I realized that when Black Americans get to Africa, they become so much vulnerable. And when you look at my past videos that I was talking about these topics, there are a couple of solutions that I gave. You're a Black American, you're entering in Africa, you are vulnerable, right? Because you are susceptible to any person that wants to take advantage of you. That could be your friend that invited you, that you came to visit. I'm calling for extra security. Be so much careful with what you do, with who you do with. I've seen all these cases happen. And these cases happen in Africa so much. Right? Please be careful when you come to Africa so that we try remove all these negative stereotypes that are happening. But they're negative stereotypes, but they are people's experience. People have gone through this. And so we don't support all those things that are happening. And one way of helping African countries stop this thing is make yourself be careful. If you're a Black American woman who is coming to Africa, probably have somebody that's going to be receiving you. Don't just start getting intimate with strangers. That puts you in a difficult situation. And you know the general image that gives, right? Another issue is Africans begging for money. Yeah, this is an issue that has been happening. Yeah, people will ask for money. People are asking for handouts. Probably there is this mentality that if you're a Black American coming to Africa, you have money. People don't understand that a middle class American, generally, they have to work, they have to take more than one job to sustain themselves. So these are things that we need to educate our brothers and sisters so that they come and learn about this, right? Let me just give my honest opinion about Black Americans. Black Americans are one of the kindest people I've ever come across. Trust me. Some of them, I've had an experience with them that I can never have with my family. Hands down, honestly. So when I hear Black Americans come and complain about how they feel, I take it seriously, right? I take it seriously. And I just want to say that not all Africans do this, all these bad things. You realize that I didn't talk much about Africans in the United States, but I'm going to be talking about it just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Understand that Africans who leave Africa with the mindset that I'm going to be changing where I come from. So when they go to the United States, they start seeing Black Americans as lazy. This is a stereotype that has been for a while now, and it's been going on, right? This is not good because some of these Africans that go to the United States need to understand that Black Americans are the ones that have made it easier for them to be in that place to begin with, right? So, making it look like they're the ones who are working hard, making Black Americans look like they ain't doing nothing, while it is Black Americans that made it possible for them to be in that position to begin with. It doesn't make, a damn sense. So, what I'll say is like, some of Africans, we are at fault. Some of Black Americans, we also at fault, right? But what will really help us here is trying to find a balance. And how do we find a balance? We find a balance by educating ourselves on how can we learn to embrace our differences and learn more about each other's history. That is what's going to be helping us. Trust me, I've interacted with a lot of Black Americans that are coming to Kenya. Trust me. And all of the thing that I learned from all of them is that we have always been having a great misunderstanding between one another. We love each other. The only problem is that big misunderstanding that has been going on, between us for the longest time. And the enemy doesn't want us to come together. And I understand. At a time, Black Americans have reached their breaking point, and now they've decided that they are delineating. I respect that. Feel me? I respect that. Because if I was a Black American, I couldn't allow anybody to really step on my space the way some immigrants do. It becomes so much difficult, right? It makes our love to be compromised. You see, when I love you and you start do some things, it compromises my love towards you. And now I understand what Black Americans are going through. Look, Black Americans are not complaining. And I'm not trying to defend Black Americans in this case. I'm trying to be fair enough to understand the challenges that both of you all are succumbing to. So brothers and sisters, we really need education. We really need to understand the history between one of us. We really need to unravel the biases that we have towards each other. Brothers and sisters, I'm your host and presenter Agent Stories. Please let me know what you think and feel about this in the comment section. We need to learn about each other. right? I'm your host and presenter at GDoc Stories. But until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.